So, yeah. This is bad. Oh wow, there's lots of endings here. We haven't been locked out of anything yet. Let's try and figure out what we can do. This will change both outcomes. Oh, this changed the aftermath. Oh, shoot! The M134 abruptly stopped firing, then I heard the sound of metal hitting the ground. I peeked out to see that Choi Johan had dropped the machine gun and he was covering his abdomen with his right hand. Holy shit! Fuck! There are other people here, you morons! Find them! Soon I heard the sound of people fighting. Yet Choi Johan held onto the machine gun again and pointed it right in my direction. He kept staring in our direction like a hawk. He was not going to let us get out of here alive today. About 20 minutes later. Oh, some men from the Gangoon group were holding down a pretty buff young man, pressing his head to the ground. His head was already covered with blood. Choi Johan grabbed his hair and pulled it back violently. I finally saw his face. Yo, if I remember correctly, isn't this the new guy in your unit, Lieutenant Kang? What a cute and silly one he is. He came all the way here to save his precious lieutenant without even bringing a gun. Who do you think is cuter, him or my son? Lieutenant Kang? Fuck you. The kid's nose and mouth were bleeding heavily. He kept mumbling through the blood. Lieutenant, don't mind me. Troy fired up the machine gun once again. Jesus. The kid's fragile flesh was torn to pieces and pounded into a stain on the ground. Jesus. I didn't fucking want to mind you. What the fuck were you doing here? Didn't you know I meant to not fucking tell you about our mission at this goddamn place? You idiot. You didn't even bring a fucking gun? How'd you defend your precious justice? Justice, what was the fucking point now that you were dead? Signed by the lieutenant of your unit. Looked down in the green B2 form. From in my hands and had an idea. I clutched the form in my hand and ran back to Unit 4, stopping at the lieutenant's desk. My hand on the handle of his drawer. My heart was beating rapidly in my chest. This would be a huge mistake. Forging the signature. In all seriousness, this would be a crime. What the hell was wrong with me? Calm down and think. There must be another way. There was a toy gun on the ground. I picked up the toy gun. Would this be useful? Whatever. It would be better than nothing. I rushed out of the building and hailed a cab. Only a toy gun on me, I headed toward the port. Well, whoa, what? This changed something? And there's in a unit, and the B12 in my hands had an idea. That's just when my hand ran back to Unit 4, stopping at the lieutenant's desk. My hand on the handle of the drawer, my heart was beating rapidly in my chest. It would be a huge mistake, forging the signature. In all seriousness, it would be a crime. What the hell's wrong with me? I'm down to think, there must be another way. Let out a sigh. Fine. That should be it, yeah. Bad. That changed nothing. This is the hint. I can't actually do anything with this. Wait. There was a hint down there, too. It should be okay if I just go ahead without it, right? False. Wait. shit, Captain. I forgot I could rearrange those. Oh boy, this is gonna change the ending. Not in a good way. I felt blood rushing to my head as I picked up the gun. I turned back to the armory and slammed it on the desk. Thud. I dropped it to the ground. What? On my knees. Sir, I have to tell you something. Becoming a police officer has always been my dream, ever since I was a kid. I've always thought that one day, when I finally became a police officer, I would be able to defend justice and help people who are in need. Even though Lieutenant Kang has a lousy temper, loves smoking, and is often mean to me, always has me doing paperwork, and likes junk food. As a police officer and defender of justice, I can't just let him be in danger without doing anything. And sir, if you don't loan me a gun now, it will all be too late. The custodian turned his face black again, looking at the top half of my desk, head behind the desk. While tears rolling up in my eyes, but nothing compared to the river coming down his face. Silence. I stood back up and dusted off my pants. Well, I tried. Wait. The custodian wiped his face clean and put on his jacket. Can't break the rules and loan you a gun. However, I'll come with you. Oh, by the way, bring this along too. Custodian stuffed a toy gun into my hand. A toy gun? Are you kidding me right now? However, the old man seemed dead serious, so I tucked the gun into my waistband. Still as a rookie cop. All they had right now was a toy gun and the custodian at the checkout counter of the armory. I was beginning to feel uncertain about this rescue mission. Oh boy! The M134 abruptly stopped firing. Then I heard the sound of metal hitting the ground. I heard lots of people yelling outside. Oh shit! I peeked out and saw that Choi Yo-han was lying on the ground unconscious. His lackeys were completely frantic and running around hysterically. I didn't know what exactly had just happened, but it was my only opportunity. I charged into the crowd and took a gun from one of the mobsters. However, even with a weapon, I was still outnumbered. Just when I was about to be swamped, I saw a shadow running from behind those bastards. First I thought it was just my imagination. Then the bastards suddenly began falling to the ground one after another. And a familiar yet annoying figure jumped up onto a huge cargo container. His left hand beside his waist and his right hand waving some kind of strange white cloth. He shouted to the entire warehouse. Listen up, you evil bastards! Today's the day that you're going to see justice being served by me. I'm going to arrest every single one of you and bring you all to the police station. Wow. I was 100% sure now. The only person who could say something like this without any irony was him. Who knew this kid had some talent, despite always seeming a little off? Next to him, half an hour later, the only people still standing were all from our side. I tossed another empty gun on the ground. One of those bastards was lying near my feet, and I saw half a pack of cheap cigarettes. I wasn't feeling picky at the moment, so I lit one for myself. It seemed to help with the exhaustion a little bit. What a night. I needed a beer when I got back, before I went to sleep. I sat down on the bottom of a random body nearby. I felt like I never wanted to get back up again. Then I looked at Chang Young-min. He'd been jumping upside down for half an hour, doing his weird karate. And he didn't seem tired at all. Young people. Pfft. You're operating without authorization, you know that, right? Yes, sir. This is me defending my justice. Yes, sir, my ass. Look at that grin of yours. What was the deal with your voice? It was so loud that it hurt my skull. Well, whatever. That was good. That was good. So, toy gun and swap the forms. Because that was the thing that we did, right? B2, C50. That was all that we did, right? Okay, what's this?
하나님, 나를 도와주세요.
Oh no.
부처님, 도대체 제가 뭘 어떻게 해야 되죠?
Time for Young-min to actually get a gun. What I need in my life is... Let's catch up with Alicia first. If someone asked me what I wanted the most at that exact moment, I would say freedom. As for the thing that I wanted second most, I would say death. Oh no. 2 months ago, a short and skinny old man had bought me from a human trafficking auction house and brought me back to his mansion. First I thought he was just like most of the other buyers, who had only been looking for some exotic playthings. But I soon found out that he was much more frightening. His name was Winn, an infamous local millionaire in Hong Kong. On the surface, he was the owner of a chemical plant, making his bucks from pharmaceutical research and development. Behind the scenes, he had been conducting drug tests on humans. The tests were not just limited to medicinal drugs, but also experimental ones that were developed solely for the gangs, some of which were even from abroad. Oh Jesus. What he had spent in buying us was nothing compared to the profits he could make off of us. All of his test subjects were people he had purchased from the auction house. None of us had any legal status. Therefore nobody would care who we were or where we had gone. It was like we had evaporated from the face of the earth. Oh Jesus. There were both men and women among us. Sometimes the women might get a little lucky compared to the men. The girls were willing to become a concubine, they could be spared the fate of trying the more dangerous drugs. That's depressing. Oh man, that's... God. Rose had been one of those concubines. She had still died though. I heard she had OD'd. After her death, her body was taken away like everyone else before her. She just disappeared without a trace. I'd rather die from poison than become another Rose. People who had made the same choice as I were locked inside the dungeon. They had tied her hands and feet to the bedposts, with her limbs spread out unnaturally. Everyone had been tied down in a separate room. However, the air ducts inside the rooms were all connected. The air was filled with the smell of rotten flesh and death. Every few minutes I could hear horrifying screams coming from the distance. I had endured a fever for the last couple of days. I heard them saying that the drug they had been giving me was defective, and if my fever didn't come down soon, I would die. Oh jeez. To make sure that they could extract as much profit out of me as they could, they had assigned a new doctor. He had been checking up on me every day. This doctor seemed more bookish. He might be a good man. In my haze, I tried to talk to him. He never responded. So I kept talking to myself. After setting up my IV drip, the doctor hung the bottle of medicine on a makeshift pole that had been made out of a rusty water pipe. Then his phone rang. He walked to the hallway outside and half closed the door. His medicine kit was near my pillow. There were 2 bottles in the corner of the kit. One with sleeping pills, one with poison. The doctor was still answering the phone outside. The day had finally come. I could just grab that bottle and carry out the plan I'd had in my mind for a long time. The rope was loose. I grabbed the pipe firmly. Put my left hand out of the loosened rope and reached for the kit. Grabbed the bottle closer to my left hand, the sleeping pills. Twisted the cap off with my left hand and poured the entire bottle into my mouth. It was so painful. Then I lifted the pipe and smashed it out on my own head. I could finally end this life in hell. Carlos, I'm sorry. Your Alicia can't take care of you anymore. Goodbye forever, Carlos. I didn't know how long had passed. Jeez. I was so surprised when I woke up. I had an oxygen mask on my face and IV tubes inserted into my arms. Some familiar guards and doctors were standing next to the bed. They had tied my hands and feet to the bedposts. The air was still filled with that rotten smell. I closed my eyes in desperation. Heavenly Father, what have I done wrong? Alicia. Jesus! Ah! Oh, God. simulation exam was only hours away, yet I had been lying in bed all night, unable to fall asleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I could see the sketch that Mr. Winn had drawn of me earlier. It was so beautiful. I thought I should go to school earlier to try and find it in the trash can. I got out of bed, walked across the living room, and grabbed a box of chocolate milk that Rocky had paid me. The moon seemed especially round tonight. Leaning on the railing of the balcony, watching the moon and drinking the milk. Oh, that's right, Rocky's the big sports jock. I honestly had forgotten who Rocky was when he came up in Jimmy's DSP moment. Watching the moon and drinking the milk. Mr. Winn's place was to my right. The light was still on. Ever since I had learned that Mr. Winn lives next door, I would often involuntarily wander out onto the balcony to watch the view outside. Well, if Mr. Winn's light's on, that means he got the power back on. However, I had never seen him out here even once. The curtain was always closed behind the glass door to Mr. Winn's living room. I couldn't see anything inside except to tell whether the lights were on or not. It was almost 1 a.m. The lights were still on. I didn't think that he could be up so late, despite his lights usually still being on when I had gone to bed in the past. What was he doing at this hour? It couldn't be because of what had happened earlier today. It had only been a joke. I suppose that I should go and apologize tomorrow. I suddenly heard a muffled sound. I noticed that his curtain moved slightly, and saw a hand appear at the bottom of the glass door. It was Mr. Winn's hand. Murder? What? Shut up, what was I thinking? I immediately called for an ambulance while I knocked on his door, but nobody responded. No one answered the phone in the manager's office either. I figured that people could pass out for many reasons. The best opportunity for first date only lasted for the first 5 minutes. It would be too late to wait for the ambulance to arrive. I grabbed a rope on the balcony and tied one end around my waist. I tied the other end to the railing. Finally, I climbed up the railing and stood on top of it, shaking. Mr. Winn's balcony was approximately 1.5 meters away. My own record in long jump was 1.72 meters, if I remembered correctly. I should be alright then, right? 1, 2, 3, jump! The slipper had been tossed on the ground earlier. Damn it, I was so close to reaching the pipe on the other side. It was hanging between the 3rd and 4th floors. Well, shit. The rope tightened around my waist. Thankfully, it was strong enough to hold me. I could still make it. I held onto the rope for dear life, carefully untied the knot, and jumped onto the balcony on the 3rd floor. However, nobody seemed to be home. Hi! Surprise! It took 20 minutes for the paramedics to get me off the 3rd floor balcony. By then, it was already too late for Mr. Winn. Oh, Jesus! I watched helplessly as they carried him out of the ambulance. He looked like he was only taking a nap. I suddenly had a feeling of deja vu that of the day I lost my father. No. No! They went. Oh, shit! Oh boy, this is getting more complicated. Anything going on down here? Okay, so I can swap these. Oh god. Do we want to go for the ultimate bad ending here? Well, I mean, if we move this over... I was gonna swap that and move this over here. Well, that's a hard number 2, so I can't move this up here. Could only be bad. I tried to reach for the kid, but the rope on my left hand was too tight. Whenever I had gotten a chance to be alone, I would try to wiggle my wrist to loosen up the rope a little. I just noticed they had gotten loose after my seizure yesterday. They had tied it up again. Damn it. I hadn't expected the opportunity to present itself so soon, and I was not prepared. It was such a failure. I couldn't afford to let this chance go. So I grabbed the pipe, now IV pole, and tried to reach for the bottles inside the kit using the hooks on top of it. The IV bottle fell off the hooks and smashed into pieces. The doctors rushed inside and took the pole away from me. He didn't send in the guards, though. He just moved the pole farther away so that I couldn't reach it, put up another bottle of medicine, then he left. Bad. I was so close to reaching the other side. Before I had a chance to contemplate my next step, the rope snapped. 20 minutes later, the paramedics woke me up in the bushes just outside the first floor. Apparently I had fainted after the fall. I suffered only some mild injuries. Falling 4 stories! Mr. Winn. I watched helplessly as they carried him on the ambulance. He looked like he was only taking a nap. Suddenly I had a feeling of deja vu of the day I lost my father. No. Oh, wow, that's a legitimate... Okay, so we're gonna change both of these. Wiggled my left hand out of the loosened rope and reached for the kit. I grabbed the bottle closer to my left hand. It was almost the size of half of my palm. I needed to hide it somewhere. The doctor came back from his phone call. I was still lying on the bed, all spread out, with my eyes closed. When he checked my forehead, I winced. Seeing my strange reaction, he carefully examined his medicine kit again and noticed the missing bottle. There was no other furniture in the room except the bed that I was lying in. Soon he found the bottle under my pillow. Once he got the bottle back, he didn't seem to be interested in giving me a hard time for it. It was as if nothing had happened. My life in hell continued. Winn was strong that night. He held onto the pipe and climbed up to Mr. Winn's balcony. Mr. Winn had fallen to the ground in his living room. I could barely feel his pulse, and he wasn't breathing. I immediately ran through everything that I had learned about CPR in my head. I put both of my hands together, placed them upon his chest, and began pressing. 1, 2, 3. I used as much strength as I could with every press. I just hoped that I wasn't too weak to save his life. After 30 presses, Mr. Winn showed no signs of waking up. He was still not breathing. He lifted his chin up and started doing mouth-to-mouth. 2 sets of mouth-to-mouth, followed by 30 presses on his chest. He kept repeating this routine. Mr. Winn's forehead was covered in tiny drops of sweat. His wet hair was stuck to the corners of his eyes. Why won't you wake up? Time kept passing. It had been way over 5 minutes, but I wouldn't stop. I was like a flickering light on a single candle. I couldn't tell when it would suddenly go out. My tears and sweat were mixing together and falling on Mr. Winn's shirt, drop after drop, making it wet. A rough hand grabbed my wrist. Mr. Winn's eyes slowly opened. I didn't know why I cried. It must have looked horrible, my ugly, crying face. A few minutes later, the paramedics finally arrived. I asked what kind of first aid I had given him. I suddenly realized what I had just done, and I couldn't get a word out. I just did that with Mr. Winn, with our CPR. That's 3 letters. That's... The ambulance had taken Mr. Winn away. Paramedics told me to bring some necessities for his hospital stay. I finally calmed down. For the first time I had the chance to look around Mr. Winn's apartment. There were all sorts of paintings hanging on the walls. A small seaside town glowing in the sunset. A golden wheat field stretching endlessly. A rainbow crossing a valley through rosy clouds after the rain. They were all masterpieces. Really though, according to the signatures, most of them were from over 10 years ago. The portrait of a woman attracted my attention. The woman seemed to be in her early 20s, with long black hair spread out on a soft white pillow. Her sleeping face looked mesmerizing, even to me. Was she Mr. Winn's wife? I remembered when Rocky had asked whether Mr. Winn had a girlfriend on his first day. He hadn't answered the question. Why was he living alone then? Right, I should be collecting necessities for Mr. Winn. Speaking of which, what did one need for a hospital stay anyways? Pajamas, underwear, toothbrush, toothpaste, towels, slippers, razor, face wash, napkins. Scoured the kitchen and the bathroom thoroughly. The only door left had to be the door to the bedroom. Should be able to find a change of clothes in it. Push the door open. By surprise, what was behind the door looked exactly like what had often appeared in my dreams. It was a graveyard. A graveyard of paintings. Torn apart. Painted over. Pieces so small that they were completely unrecognizable. Remains of various paintings nearly completely filled the room. In the corner of the room, some blankets lay on the floor with some clothes folded on top of them. Is this where Mr. Winn usually spent the night? The room made me feel nothing but sadness and utter despair. They were so much alike, Mr. Winn and he. Well. Okay. So we got a lot of endings coming here. No pipe. Okay. If we move this over here, what does this change? I wiggled my left hand out of the loosened rope and reached for the kid. Grabbed the bottle closer to my left hand. The poison. It was almost the size of half of my palm. I needed to hide it somewhere. I saw the slipper that I had dropped yesterday when I was having a seizure. It was close enough for me to reach it. Oh. The doctor came back from his phone call. I was still lying on the bed, all spread out with my eyes closed, mumbling quietly to myself. Just as he had left me. Felt my forehead with his hand. Fiddled with the IV a bit, closed his kit and left. I opened my eyes when I heard the door close. The bottle of poison was still safely hidden inside the slipper. I know that as long as I do my best, my dream will come true. What? Oh! Okay. I don't want to... And I want to end it there, but... Oh, that's going to change both. That's going to get the last, So close to reaching the pipe on the other side. I was hanging between the third and fourth floors. The rope tightened around my waist. Thankfully, it was strong enough to hold me. I could still make it. I hung to the rope for dear life. Carefully untied the knot and landed on the balcony railings of the apartment below me. Then my feet happened to slip out of my slippers. Oh, shit. And we fell. Mr. Winn. I carried him out the ambulance. Like he was only taking a nap. Suddenly I had a feeling of deja vu of the day I lost my father. No. I wheeled my left hand out of the loosened rope and reached for the kid. I grabbed the bottle closer to my left hand. The poison. I twisted the cap off with my left hand and poured the entire... Ah, it was so painful. I lifted the pipe and smashed down on my own head. Finally end this life in hell. Carlos, I'm so sorry. Your Alicia can't take care of you anymore. Goodbye forever, Carlos. Bad. Yeah, I agree. Let's... Okay. Settle for the S rank. Oh wow, 3 letters.
是不是我做错了什么？
Is it really summer?
Lo siento.
Oh. Carlos. The fury of the cat. Oh boy. That has branched. I don't know if... when we branch like that, that's just sort of a... God, I don't know. I don't know if I can take any more of those. Okay, let's do one more Winn. Sunday afternoon. The sun was warm and the smell of the flowers was dancing in the early summer wind. I was standing in front of the exhibition center, waiting nervously. A few days ago, Mr. Winn had fainted in his apartment due to exhaustion. Fortunately, I had found him in time. Otherwise, the consequences would have been inconceivable. He had given me a ticket to the art exhibition today as a thank you. I'd been so excited when I got the ticket that I'd forgotten to ask if it was the only ticket he had. Or would he be coming too? It also happened to be my birthday. Oh, happy birthday. I had not celebrated my birthday in years. Oh. But I specifically put on my favorite dress before I left the apartment. As a matter of fact, I had never heard of the exhibition's artist. Being better prepared, I had visited dozens of bookstores just to find a book of his collection. Even as late as last night, I had been looking up his work online, and I hadn't gotten to bed until it was almost daytime. I had set 7 alarms just to make sure I wouldn't oversleep. Wow. At 1 p.m. the show had officially started. The line was getting shorter, but I still hadn't seen Mr. Winn. I took out my phone and hesitated, wondering whether or not to text him. Eventually I decided not to. Another hour had passed. I couldn't stop myself anymore and I sent him a text. That show today is really cool. Thank you so much for the ticket, Mr. Winn. I'm in the gift shop near the north entrance right now. They have a lot of cute things here. Are you coming today too, Mr. Winn? Another hour had passed. It started to drizzle. I sent him a text. It's raining. Remember to bring an umbrella with you if you're heading out, Mr. Winn. We waited near the entrance, but I didn't want to walk too far away. Another hour had passed. There's a book signing at the west entrance right now. We just bought an art collection book. I think it'll be sold out soon. Mr. Winn, would you like me to buy you a copy? Another hour had passed. Mr. Winn, I'm about to head back. Thank you again. We waited until 5 o'clock and he never showed up. Perhaps he only had one ticket in the first place. It's my fault for assuming too much. Rain had turned from a drizzle to a downpour. I walked home alone without an umbrella. I couldn't tell if it was because of the rain, but I cried. They went. That was also unexpectedly sad. Whoa. I don't think there are any obvious leads by reading this letter. In this story, how did the difference between the west entrance and the north entrance have an impact on the result? Judging from this letter alone, you're right. We're unable to tell how they will impact the ending yet. I would still encourage you to give it a try by switching their positions. Maybe then you'll see the effects in the new ending. Sometimes you won't know for sure without trying. Does it mean that the clues might not just be in the original letters? They might also be hidden inside the other endings that we unlock? That's exactly right. So that's a hint. North entrance. So there's the obvious hint here. Is to switch west and north. Waited until 5 o'clock and he never showed up. I took off the Sir Spotty mascot costume and gave it back to the staff member at the west entrance. What? The staff member who had to take off earlier for an upset stomach kept thanking me. Said that if you hadn't found a stand-in before 4 p.m. you would have lost his year-end bonus. Rain had turned from drizzle to a downpour. Walked home alone, without an umbrella. Well, fuck! Ooh. Sorry. Didn't mean to back out of that. Okay, so this is where we started. Do west entrance, okay. Okay. So, west entrance. Whoa. It was just past 5 o'clock. A garbage truck had a sudden flat tire on the road outside the north entrance. There was garbage everywhere. Staff of the exhibition center all put on their raincoats and ran down the stairs to pick it up the trash. I decided to go and help out since I wasn't doing anything anyway. Lots of people walked by and took pictures of me with their phones. I struck a picture cooperatively with a victory gesture. Haha, look at me! I'm the guardian of the environment, Sir Spotty! It was already 7 o'clock when we were finally done. The exhibition had been over for a while by then. My phone's battery had run out. At the end, I didn't see him. I took off the Sir Spotty mascot costume and gave it back to the staff member at the west entrance. The staff member who had to take off earlier for an upset stomach kept thanking me. He said that if he hadn't found a stand-in before 4 p.m., he would have lost his year-end bonus. Alright, improvement. Let's drop this in bad. Let's leave early. Six o'clock. Rain had turned from a drizzle to a downpour. I was still standing at the entrance, waiting. The exhibition was over. One's battery had run out. People were coming out of the exhibition center, raising their umbrellas. There were more and more umbrellas around me. Everyone's face was hidden behind one. I was slowly swallowed in an ocean of umbrellas. I couldn't even see the road outside anymore. I crouched down. The rain kept falling. I couldn't tell if it was because of the rain, but I cried. Let's turn on hints for this one. Okay, so this is definitely timing. Apologies. So northwest. So we hit west early. B, we hit north early. Okay, swap north and west. Okay. We need to get this girl an umbrella. Just past 5 o'clock. Oh, garbage truck. There's garbage everywhere. Staff at the exhibition center all put on their raincoats and ran down the stairs to pick up the trash. I decided to go and help out since I wasn't doing anything anyways. Soon I happened to run into someone I knew in the crowd. It was Jimmy, who just recently transferred to my school. What a coincidence. We started chatting while picking up garbage. Jimmy said he was a huge gamer. He told me the plot from one of his favorite games. Always a good way to flirt with chicks. The game the player could play as a god and help solve the humans' troubles. Oh, Jimmy likes ActRaiser. The funny thing was, those humans' troubles were all incredibly dumb. I could barely understand it, but judging the excited look on his face, it must be a pretty interesting game. Jimmy plays ActRaiser. That's nice. It was already 7 o'clock when we were finally done. The exhibition had been over for a while by then. Jimmy asked if I wanted to go and grab something to eat. I looked down at my phone and realized that the battery had run out. I felt a little choked up in my throat. C. Ending C, aka, oh crap, we ran into Jimmy. So, what hints can we glean from the... If we go to west entrance early, we end up in the Sir Spotty costume. And north late. What happens if we go right west to north? We get A. Which I think the only indicator there is west and north. It was Jimmy. Fucking Jimmy. Okay. So, look at the endings where we go to west first. Oh shit. That was dumb. Don't mind me. Okay. But you get up west early. 2, 3, 4, 5. The timing is pretty reasonable. Rank Jimmy. This is tricky. Two, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so if we're at the north, okay, if we go north at 5 o'clock, then we get the garbage truck ending. If we go to west, flip this, yeah, rank A garbage truck. So if I flip this... Bad. If I go to the west entrance before 4 o'clock, I get roped into Sir's body. If I go to the north entrance at 5 o'clock, I get the garbage truck ending. Yep, Sir's body. Flip this. Bad. West entrance. Now, how does this work? Now, if I flip the umbrella, that actually changed anything? No. If I leave from the west entrance, we're swallowed in an ocean of umbrellas. If I leave from the north entrance, garbage trucks. Yep, Jimmy and... So, Sir's body, normal exit. So if I flip this, that's still gives me rank B. How do I do that? So north. It's gonna be a tricky one. D. Gets her spotty. Bad. Oh boy. Yeah, this one's tricky. Yep, Sir Spotty, garbage truck. Okay, I think we're gonna cut away from this until we figure this out. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I got it. I don't know how. 6 o'clock. The rain had turned from a drizzle to a downpour. Ah shit, ah shit. I was still in the Sir Spotty mascot costume, standing at the entrance. The phone's battery had run out. The exhibition was over. People were coming out of the exhibition center. Thank you so much for today. You can get out of the costume now. Again, you saved my life today. The staff member who had to take off early from an upset stomach kept thanking me. He said if he hadn't found a stand-in, he would have lost his year-end bonus. I was about to pull the mascot head off when someone bumped into me. Couldn't see anything with the head on. I only knew that I was falling down the stairs. Jesus. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Finally stopped at the bottom of the stairs. I suspected that every bone in my body had been broken. I was sure that I must have looked pathetic, with mud plastered all over myself. Are you okay? The voice sounded familiar. Oh. I couldn't be sure because of the sound of the heavy rainfall. A powerful hand grabbed my arm and pulled me up. I took the mascot head off in a hurry. I saw in front of me the same casual outfit. He raised an umbrella over my head. But his shoulders were getting wet. I ordered 2 cups of hot cocoa from the cafe on the first floor of the exhibition center and sat at a table next to the window. The rain had become so heavy that we couldn't leave. I was feeling like the luckiest girl on earth. He told me that the exhibition was organized for a friend of his. He didn't know I was still here until he had seen the text just a little while ago. There had been too many people at the entrance when we arrived. And he wouldn't have been able to find me if I had not been so eye-catching. Oh, so we had to become a Sir Spotty. So it was his friend's exhibition. He hadn't planned to come with me. Of course not. Lightning suddenly flashed outside the window and all the lights went out in the cafe. Oh no. Candlelit hot cocoa. A waiter came over to apologize. He lit up a candle and placed it on our table. The outside view became clearer now that it was darker inside. He turned and looked outside the window toward the blurry greenish mountain far away. He suddenly changed the subject. That mountain is called Shanglong Mountain. In weather like this, you can see the most beautiful rainbow from in the mountains when the rain stops. Have you ever painted it? There were the paintings in his apartment. The rainbow in his painting must be even more beautiful than the real one. But he shook his head. Most beautiful views can only live on in memories. Oh. I could see the candlelight flickering in my eyes. In his eyes. It was supposed to be the color of warmth, but I couldn't sense any temperature. A voice suddenly surfaced from deep within my heart. It was overcoming my own self-control. I couldn't stop myself from blurting out the question. Mr. Winn, do you want to go home now? Sorry, I forgot. It's pretty late. Mr. Winn took his eyes away from the mountain, gave me an apologizing look, and reached for the umbrella next to our seats. No! Not that! Can I get a picture with you? What the hell was I talking about? I put on my phone in a hurry, but then I realized that the battery had run out quite a little while ago. Ah, how embarrassing. Wanted to crawl into a hole. Mr. Winn took out his own phone instead and handed it to a waiter passing by. I held on to the cup of cocoa nervously and smiled like an idiot. 1, 2, 3, cheese! Let's take another one. Young lady, get a little closer to your boyfriend, please. Oh, God! What? Boyfriend? You don't understand. I mean, really. He's my teacher. He is probably at least over a dozen years older than me. More. Before I could explain, the waiter had taken another picture. I turned my head toward him, and he was so close. Oh no. First thing I did when I finally got home was plug in my phone. As soon as I turned it back on, I received a text from Mr. Winn. It was a photo. Later, I brought a brand new photo album. He printed out the photo out and put it in the first page. It was the best birthday gift I had ever gotten. I mean... What's wrong with this pen? It's not working again. What great timing. It's so annoying. First memory. Willie gave me this pen. If it looks like a pen, it's not for writing. I need to use it to slice up the letters. It'll then split into pieces. You can then rearrange the pieces before pressing a button on the pen. It makes the pieces reattach themselves into an intact letter. Afterwards, the events of the human's life will happen according to my new arrangement. You can even read about the aftermath of the letter. Well, recently, the pen has started to act strangely. Rumbling. I'm hungry. Huh? It's time for afternoon tea. That's strange. Willie has normally brought me snacks by now. Willie? Willie, where are you? It's so dark. Where has he gone? It's so dark here, these stairs feel very old. Wah! What on earth are you doing here? Turn around! Don't look! As if I wanted to. Ow. Why is it so dark here? Is the light bulb out? Yeah, it has been for a long time. Why don't you have it fixed? Wait, why can't we fix it ourselves? Aren't we gods? Shouldn't we be able to fix a light bulb with a simple wave of a hand? Who told you that? Even gods have their limitations, and we can't get whatever we want. We should learn to appreciate what we do have. Hmm? Are you saying we need to buy things too, like humans? Well, we're not entirely like humans in this regard. We don't have to pay rent or mortgage to live here, but not everything is free. We don't need money, but we need faith from the humans. Even the more people that go to a temple or church to pray to us, even worship us, the better our lives become. Yeah, more or less. However, we're not like the gods in the normal sense. For example, in a place with an extreme drought, people would often pray for rain, right? The normal gods would just give them rain if the faithful were deemed worthy. This way, the humans would know that their wishes had been granted. If we were to grant their wishes, it would mean that the drought had never happened in the first place. So, yeah, how do we compile faith if we... Therefore, if the humans would never realize that their wishes had been granted, because there had never been a drought, therefore they never would have had to pray either. I see. So you're saying that all those people who have asked for our help never realize that they have done so. Does that mean we're going to starve to death? That is not going to happen. We might be living in poverty. Oh. We might be suffering. Oh no. Oh no. It's hard being a god. Well, don't think about it too much. Anyway, were you looking for me? Oh right. I almost forgot. The pen hasn't been working well recently. Is it broken? It's too dark in here. I can barely see. Let's go upstairs to your room. Isn't there a room right here? Speaking of which, didn't you just come out from there? Is this your room? Yes, it is. Well, let's... No. I haven't even asked yet. The more he does not let me inside, the more curious I get. Is he hiding something unspeakable? I twisted my ankle when I fell down. I really don't want to climb the stairs. No problem. What? Huh? How did we get up here to my room? So we got. It's awesome! You know how to teleport? Can I do that too? Perhaps. Let me take a look at the pen. Well, it'd be getting too old to work properly. Let's try again later. Should be fine. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. I'll go prepare some snacks for you. So lie down and rest your ankle. Teleportation. I want to teleport! Well, that didn't work. How can I do that? Oh gosh. Oh gosh, help. That was adorable. What's
为什
this?
么会这样？
Oh, Jimmy. No. No, Jimmy. Okay, let's save there. On that note, that seems a good place to end off and rest. Give poor Myth a chance to rest. When we return, We are going to unload some really sad stuff, no doubt. We've got Alicia, we've got Spotty, we've got Park Sang-eun. Your story has gotten better, Gungmin. Your story has gotten better with your first triumphant moment of justice. So hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. I'm okay with that. Dreading the story. Justice. I didn't really get any notes there. Paired weapon, Glock 43. Captain Gong, Choi Yo-han, old rival. The Artists Association. Oh, he is 35, but still, he's a... Lee Wett is 17. That's... No. I do not approve, you understand. Yep. Oh, fuck, that's what he was referencing? That's... You cheeky bastard, Jimmy. Oh, God. Jimmy, why? Protect this child. Speaking of protect... Speaking of protect... Protect her! Oh my God! Her last story was awful. Noble stray cat. Confidential! He's got a fish on his... Okay. Enough messing around. We'll see you next time.